You've arrived at the Texas to Tennessee Podcast, your home for your favorite independent artists, and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
Howdy, folks. You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee Podcast. My name's Steve. Over on my left, on my screen, is Soul Gravy. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing good.
All right, glad to hear it.
Looking forward to tonight's episode. I have to say that Oliver's the only guest I've ever passed a guitar around a campfire with.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
I know, it's for rare company.
Well, before we get to introducing Oliver to the Texas to Tennessee family, I want to make special note to thank Adam Hood for the intro. I also would like to give a shout out to Evan Boyer, who just went through a little bit of a health scare. That's that smooth, sultry voice that you hear on the intro. Evan, I hope you're doing better. And from what I understand, he is. Folks, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, thank you so much for joining. Feel free to join us on YouTube. The chat is always wild over there. We do watch the questions. We do our best to edit them and try to ask them. So thank you for being here. Also, just a quick reminder, since we're taking care of housekeeping, Soul Gravy still could use your cash. But if you're not going to send them your cash, please subscribe. Right. It's free. Also, I think it takes, 45 seconds, 30 seconds to write a review. Say something nice on Spotify, Apple, wherever you steal your podcast or music. Go do that, please. And yeah, that's it. So
that was good.
Thanks.
Good job.
I've been working on it. Tonight, Oliver Sayani is with us. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining.
Yes, sir. It's great to be here. Thank you all.
We appreciate you taking the time. We're going to start off by letting you tell us a little bit about yourself. So if you could just take a couple minutes and give us a little bit of your backstory, we'll go from there.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been playing music for about 10 years, maybe longer. I was a side man as a guitar player for many years. That was kind of my main thing, but I've been a songwriter the whole time. So kind of getting started now into my singer-songwriter career officially. And I have released a few albums with the band that I came out with in Louisville, Kentucky, kind of putting me, injecting me right into the Kentucky music scene. I'm from Cumberland Gap and moved up there when I was about 18 or 19. Ended up coming down to Nashville, working in recording and production. And like I said, just kind of getting my singer-songwriter career started here. So been lucky to, kind of run into and rub elbows with a bunch of people that have been really good and helped me out, and excited for a really good year this year, I'm hoping.
Well, great intro. Gave us a lot of material there. I don't know if y'all heard, but Cumberland Gap. Soul Gravy, you're going to need to get super familiar with Cumberland Gap, Tennessee over the next few minutes. Folks, this is Why Are They Famous? Cumberland Gap, Tennessee version. So I'll tell you a little bit about Cumberland Gap. Population was 313 as of the 2020 census. It's not the smallest town we've had on, that's for sure.
No.
Not far off. So good luck, Soul Gravy.
I have a feeling I'm going to learn a lot tonight, not know a lot tonight. So,
we're going to start you off. I think you're going to do okay. And he's from the general region, so we're going to go ahead and give you this one.
Okay.
Daniel Boone.
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with Daniel Boone and his work.
Yep.
Well, a stylish hat that he liked to wear.
Yep. Also, I think he wasn't he pretty instrumental in the Independence of Texas.
I believe he was.
I think he had some involvement there.
He was. I think he kind of got. I think the story goes he kind of got screwed a little bit by Andrew Jackson, I believe.
We'll leave that for next week's podcast. But shout out to Daniel Boone and Soul Gravy for getting it right. Next three are going to be difficult.
All right.
Dr. Thomas Walker.
I think he was a doctor. That's about all I got. What else you got?
It's a good start. He was a Virginia explorer who in 1750 was the first European to document his journey through the pass, which he named for the Duke of Cumberland.
I was going to say the Cumberland Gap is the whole thing about that area is the exploration times, wasn't it? Wouldn't it?
Yep. Well, don't stray far from there on the next one then.
Okay.
John Finley.
I mean, he sounds Irish. That's about all I got. I don't know.
Good start. He was a trader and a friend of Daniel Boone's.
Oh, a trader, huh?
Yeah, a trader. Who first told him about the gap and guided him there in 1769.
Okay.
All right.
Fair. I believe you.
And fourth, I'm not sure if he went by Dick or Richard, but Richard Henderson.
Okay. I'm not familiar. I don't think I know a Rich Henderson, but not a
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all big fans of Rich Henderson. So Richard Henderson was a land speculator who hired Boone to mark the trail. So there you go.
All right. Well,
that is.
Well, Oliver had a couple to throw in there. Did you have somebody else to add?
Yeah. Those, first of all, that was cool because, we learned a lot about Daniel Boone and Thomas Walker growing up. But the other ones was kind of a deep cut, so that was kind of cool to hear. Mine would be some of my musical heroes. Growing up, one of them, her name is Dale Ann Bradley.
Okay.
And I remember when I was a kid, she was around playing a little bit, and I kind of just remember her presence a little bit. And come to find later, like she's wrote a bunch of great like bluegrass music and is a great singer, songwriter. And then the other one is Steve Gully, and he's also a legendary bluegrass guy. And I remember vaguely like hearing him sing back home before, and it was just like incredible, smooth voice, beautiful songwriting. So yeah, those are the two ones that really stick out to me. Oh, one actually, I had the pleasure of meeting Ricky Skaggs one time in Nashville, and when we talked about like where we're from and everything, he said, "Oh, Cumberland Gap." He said, "I got some family from there." So I guess you can throw Ricky Skaggs in there as well.
Yeah, well, that Soul Gravy would have gotten that one.
Yeah. I mean, with 313 people, there's a good chance they knew each other, right? So
yeah, for sure. Yep. All right. Well, we appreciate the additions, folks. You just missed out on Soul Gravy going 15 for 15 on people from Louisville because Oliver lived there for about 7 years. But that list will save for somebody else.
Yeah. Give me one Louisville person.
Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
You're
one. I got that one. Yeah.
I can give you a couple more if you want. There's some great ones on there.
Okay.
Ned Beatty.
Okay. Yeah. I'm familiar with the
Squeal Like a Pig, Sir.
Yeah. The Bonnie and Clyde and whatever else. A bunch of other movies.
Yeah. Deliverance for sure. Colonel Harlan Sanders.
I believe that would be Colonel Sanders. I didn't know his name was Harlan, but all right.
Yep. Evan Williams.
Funny enough, that was a potential name for our son. Shout out to my grandfather on that one.
Reason one out. All right. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of great ones. So you would have done great, by the way.
Okay. Well, what would have been.
Yep. Oliver, thanks for putting up with us, our shenanigans. we're going to ask you a serious music question now, or at least semi-serious. This is called the pie question. It's a little bit odd, but I like to divide the music world up into 4 sections. So those 4 sections in my brain are songwriting, recording, performing, and the 4th slice of pie is everything that doesn't fit into one of those first 3 sections, but takes up a bunch of time. So things like changing the tire on the van, doing social media, booking, management, all promotion, all those things. So which one of those 4 slices for you feels most at home?
That's a hard one because I'm an independent artist and I actually do all of those things. But I think the most at home would have songwriting.
Okay.
I discovered when I discovered when I was kind of somewhat known for being a guitar player, and when I realized that how's the song go? There's 50,000 guitar pickers in Nashville, and the guy working behind the bar or as the janitor is probably a better guitar player than you.
Right.
Once I realized that, I'm like, well, the real way that I stand out, the real way that makes me unique is to write my own songs and make arrange the songs and have a band and go on the road and play my original music. So I'll have to go with that.
All right. Great answer. At what point did you, I guess, determine that songwriting was the place that you were maybe most comfortable?
I think it was around the time it was when I was up in Louisville, and I already knew from then from all the great guitar players around Kentucky and Nashville and everywhere. I already knew, like, there's so many different ways to go about guitar playing, and there's so many people that have technical skills. I just thought, well, I've been chasing down this dragon, and it's not that I don't practice anymore. It's like all I do is play guitar. But I was just like, I think I should shift the focus to really just digging into that, and realize that. So I actually, at one time, I studied jazz music.
Oh.
And I was jazz trained and I was classically trained as well. And my teacher, he goes, well, I know you're not, after like years of teaching me, so I know you're not really like a jazz guy in particular. So, what do you want to dig into here? And I was like, I want to dig into some like Jerry Reed and Chet Atkins and Merle Travis stuff. So
there you go.
He let me kind of go down that road of like country music and roots music and all the stuff that I really came up with, and that just really funneled right into like my songwriting. So now my guitar playing kind of goes hand in hand with my songwriting, and that became the main focus.
Nice. Just to touch a little bit more on the songwriting side, feels like most of the folks we get to chat with all have a little bit of a different approach to songwriting. There's no one right way to do it, but I am curious kind of how you get the songs out. They get delivered to you somehow, and then you have a way to get them out. Do you have a certain process for that?
There's a lot of people say there's like inspiration is for amateurs, something along that line. They're like, you have to really just sit down and put in the work and just write every day. I'm a little bit of both, because I really like when the inspiration hits out of nowhere and you wake up in the middle of the night and I'll either like hum a tune into my phone while I'm driving, hum a tune, or write it down on a piece of paper, napkin or whatever. But I also like to, one of my mentors said, well, if you want like to have a bunch of good songs, just write like 5 a week. So I've taken that approach too, and I think there's definitely something to that. The more you do it, even if you don't keep the song, you throw half of them away, and the other ones are good. You force yourself to draw that out of you. Uh, but uh, but to finish the question, my favorite process is when both the lyrics and the music hit at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm hearing the, and then also I know what I'm saying behind that tune at the same time. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's what I prefer.
Okay. And then being in Nashville, has that forced you to into more songwriting collaboration?
Yeah, it has. I haven't done a whole lot, but yeah, I've done some co-writes after living down here for a little bit. And yeah, that's a whole interesting process. I've had some, they've all been pretty good. And but it's crazy how much like a person's personality and attitude really ties into that process. So I enjoy it, especially when it's somebody that really gets me and vice versa.
Yep. I mean, obviously, not only a ton of great guitar players in Nashville, but also a few pretty decent songwriters. So, what was we haven't really talked about the moving force to get you to Nashville, but can you talk a little bit about that move and how that ended up coming about?
Yeah, that's an interesting story, actually. I was working in a, and this guy comes in. He's trying to take lessons for recording. We had like one guy that taught recording, and he's, yeah, I want to. We're just chatting. He's like, I want to write, or I want to record an album in Nashville, and I'm just learning how to do my demo. And it's, he's like, I was a corporate guy for decades, and now I just want to write this album just for my daughter, for my family, and just a labor of love type of thing. And I said, well, that's cool. We were talking about I play guitar and everything like that, and yeah, looking for someone to play guitar on my demo. And I said, well, I'm cheaper than Brent Mason, and he thought that was funny.
It is
So kind of laughed like he let out this laugh like a cartoon character villain or something, a billionaire villain guy, whatever. And just, at that point, I kind of knew, like, okay, I think he's gonna hire me for this. He hired me for it. When it came time to cut the record in a pro studio, he was like, "You want to come down and you can like help with the production process and stuff." I'm like, "Heck yeah!" So we went down there to a really cool studio. It's called Omni Studios. Rest in peace. They are now shut down, but I got to work there with some really great, like a great producer. Got to see how he works and some really great session players. And at that point, I fell in love with it. And so through that process, I was like the beginning. As I said, like, I think this is kind of a sign. I should probably be here getting into this sport stuff.
Yeah. I lost it for a second. You good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Sorry, you just cut out for a second. It's all right. They'll just keep rolling.
It's like,
And at which point also said, also Nashville's not too far from where I'm at in Louisville, so said it's also a good place to, like, if I took a band on the road, we're still in a pretty central location, and so it makes sense.
mm-hmm. How long have you been down there in Nashville?
2 years.
I got you. Okay. So I know we've been at some of the same shows and stuff before, and mutual buddies and all that, and they'd be like, "Well, Oliver's gonna be here in a couple hours." Well, that makes sense because you're a couple hours from from everywhere, everywhere in Nashville. So it makes
That
sense.
is always.
Um, one thing I want to make sure. Did you have anything else on that, Tabo? No. All right. Just kind of going back through your socials and stuff. You've got connections with several people that have been on the podcast, which is pretty cool to point out. Conrad Moore, we've had on, and Tim Gooden, Tim was on early for me, and been one of the nicest guys even since then. Um, let's. I guess we'll talk about some of those guys. What about Tim? You did an opening spot for him, right?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Tim for a while, and like you said, really really nice dude. Um, I was just kind of looking for someone to do a show with one day. I was like, I want somebody to open for somebody with a good draw. I'm a big fan, so I hit him up, and we've done a couple shows together now. We're working on some more stuff here soon. Just a big fan of his music and him as a person. Um, so yeah, Mountain Queen is one of my favorite songs um,
That
that he
that
wrote.
that
Just a,
whole
yeah,
group he's part of, it seems pretty cool and pretty straight up. I like what they have going on, which is cool.
yeah.
Conrad, I didn't know much about him until he came on the podcast. But that was an interesting one too. And you've done shows with the Creekers, which is that episode was I recorded live at North Springs, and I would normally it's just like a one or two person thing, and then they all showed up, so I tried to record them all. It's kind of haywire, which you wouldn't expect anything different from with Anna and the boys, but I'm still working on that one to get that put out there, but it was great to meet all of them as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun show.
Yeah, and another, I couldn't tell by your socials if you had played this event or if you just attended, but the Ramble at the Randall, that's Josh's place, right? And that's one of those. That's another one of those. I got to get to that. I got to see that in person. Is that Did you play it or did you just go to it?
I actually neither one.
Oh, okay.
I've never played or. Yeah, I'm.
Damn social media.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that. I mean, I kind of just I've known of Josh for a while. Uh, Especially through Anna. I think that was probably how I knew of him.
Probably. Yeah.
Um, like Jericho Woods, and yeah, and just like kind of here recently, I listened to one of his albums, and I was like, man, I'm digging this. And then I met him at the last Laurel Cove. He seems like a really nice guy, and yeah, I like what he has going on there. I like the lineups that he puts together and stuff. It seems like a really beautiful venue. So yeah, I'd like to go there sometime.
Yeah, and Josh has his own podcast out there as well. Maybe you should yell at him about about that too. But and we're probably going to try to bring him back on insider information here, Talbot. We'll probably try to get him back on. He's got new music coming out with Rich Henderson and those guys. So we may do try to get Brett and Rich on with him or something like that. Would make sense. And another thing, and I guess just kind of being around you a little bit, I got the feeling that guys like Towns Van Zant and that kind of writing is that's one of your things for sure. And I've seen you've done a couple, at least one show of like a Towns Van Zant tribute show. But when I saw that, I'm like, well, that makes complete sense because when I've heard you play was right up that alley.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I did like maybe like two or three of the tributes to him in Louisville, and that's been a really long standing tribute show. It's
Okay.
been happening maybe 15 years, um, because Towns Van Zant died on January 1st in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
So they have hosted that there in Louisville for like 15 years. I got to be a part of it a few times in a row. I appreciate you saying that because I'm a big fan of Towns, and obviously I play some of his tunes every now and then. But funny enough, he wasn't one of my like formative songwriter influences.
I
I kind of
understand.
discovered him later, which
Same.
is kind of, I've heard that before, and I've heard, maybe there was a subconscious influence or something. But yeah, once I got into him, I was like way down that rabbit hole.
I kind of feel like guys like Towns, you got to live a little bit before you can really get it. Before you can pick that up. If you're a young fella and you're picking up Towns, I might be a little. You might need therapy. I don't know, but no, everybody I've heard that really got into Towns. It was later, which makes complete sense when you listen to it.
Yeah, one of the formative guys for me, which goes back to our campfire jam session, was George Jones. Um, like, which is another one where like, okay, if you're young and if you get this stuff, then that probably doesn't, you probably need therapy, and I probably do. But uh, yeah, my dad was a big George Jones fan, so he had him playing all the time. And uh, later, when I like dove back in to George, then it all made even more sense. So one of those
Yeah, that,
things.
that probably would be the exception. If you grow up listening around to something, if someone around you listened to it a lot, that would introduce you to those guys sooner than picking it up on your own. So that would definitely be the exception. I did not. I didn't. My grandfather listened to like with George and Merle and all the honky tonk guys. But as far as the singer songwriters, like he didn't really listen to Christofferson or any of those guys. It was the beer drinking music. That was his thing. He didn't even like the clean pop country from back in the day, the Don Gibsons and all that. He liked the grit stuff. Um, so yeah, that makes sense what you said. So you got another one, Tabo?
I, I believe we're ready for
We
the
can try.
halftime experiment.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Well, so
Folks, go ahead.
yeah, what we're trying to do for the first time, we'll see if this works. Oliver sent a video in of him playing a song, and we'll hopefully this will work out, and y'all can hear the song. If not, I will add it in post production or whatever the real words to say.
So Oliver and I are going to go silent while you play this here. So if you see that little microphone button there,
Well, after we'll go after the song. Then after it's over, Oliver, give a little rundown of what the song's about and all that kind of stuff. We'll hit you up after the fact. So, all right, here we go.
Don't let someone else make you mirror, reflecting all the hurt they have. Just hold the course and the road will get clear of the things that make you sad. It can only be so bad. Remember your worth and stand for something, or fall for any old drag, or become someone that ain't no part of nothing and have to live with the regret. It can only be so bad. Well, I was born to be alone but I believe in what you've done. I ain't no count to help myself. I'm already too far gone. You don't have to make it on your own. Don't let someone else make you a mirror, reflecting all the hurt they had. Just hold the course and the road will get clear of the things that make you sad. It can only be so bad.
Hey, it worked. I think.
It did. Good news. Less editing for you, so
Good deal. Good deal. No copyright hits or anything that way. So, but I did notice that you had that song put on your socials too, Oliver. What? I guess, like I said, give us a rundown on the song itself, and then also why you posted that song out there.
Yeah, I kind of like, so I just recorded that video like maybe a day ago, maybe 2 days. I was like middle of the night. I wrote that kind of like just a little meditation, sort of just kind of talking to myself, just, a little reminder, kind of like dealing with people, projections that people put out there, kind of staying grounded in your own energy and your own feelings about stuff, trying not to get sidetracked or influenced by things too much. So that's kind of like the main idea behind that. Kind of open to interpret. So,
what was the title of it? Reflections.
yeah.
Yeah. And did I see it right? You kind of put that out as an entrance to a contest too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sleeping in the Woods Festival competition.
Okay.
They go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's one I haven't had the chance to go to yet. Is Nicholas Jamerson involved in that some kind of way? I saw that he was tagged in the post.
Yeah, Nicholas Jamerson puts on the festival.
Okay.
As far as I know, him and a few other people do. And yeah, I was there last year. I actually played there. I played guitar at that festival with another artist, with Tommy Kate, who also plays harmonica with me and a bunch of other great people. So yeah, I got to play that with my buddy. It's a beautiful spot, and they got a lot of good songwriters there. So I love how they focus on songwriting and, give the opportunity for people to put their songs out there to be a competition as well. It's a cool festival.
Yeah, it seems kind of like what we would try to do, or guys like us, as far as just trying to put a spotlight on. Well, they don't have to. That's why I see you up there. But yeah, they don't have to put a spotlight on anybody that's not on the card, necessarily. So it's cool that they would even think about those things.
To be fair, you have to be at least 60% mental to even think about putting on a deal like that. Yeah, like I love all those people and respect it, but like that's nuts, Especially, as they get bigger, and just it's a lot of moving parts.
Dustin Kennedy would probably agree with you about right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we love them all the same. It's just, yeah, golly, that's not the. You got to really love it for sure. Oliver, I do want to ask you because a little birdie told me that you're in the middle of or at least maybe getting towards the end of a project on putting some new music out. Anything you can share with us on that?
Yeah, it'll be a full-length album. It'll be it's kind of a concept album called 9 Kinds of Blue. So there's going to be 9 songs on there, hence the title. And it's kind of not kind of, it's the first album or first project that's coming out under my name. So it's a special thing for me. I've put out albums with the previous band I was in, Blind Feline. So if you're hearing this before the album comes out, then Kentucky Drifter by Blind Feline is an album that I wrote, produced, everything like that. A few years back, getting old at this point, but so being my debut, as an artist, my album, Fresh Songs, kind of taking you on this emotional journey of sad country music. So that's pretty much the whole idea of it. I had some really great players. It was my own band that I put together and brought down to the studio in Nashville and cut with a really great producer, buddy of mine. He's done some of my favorite records that I've heard, like in the modern age. So collaborated with some people on this project, and pretty excited to have it come out here in like next few months, like late spring time. We'll have a date coming out for that.
Oliver, can you share with us, I think most, I don't want to say normal people, but people that don't put music out for a living, that whole process of getting to the finish line, there's a lot of steps involved. Is there anything that you can share with us about, because I'm sure there's that desire to like, hey, I've finished the project. I want this thing out right now. But the music world doesn't exactly work like that. Is there anything that you can share with us about that process?
Yeah, it's matter of fact, I wish that they would come out like right as soon as I write them, but unfortunately, that is like way off of when they end up actually coming out. I think a part of that process is like the business side of it. Part of that process is like all your promotion, of course, social media promotion, but then there's also radio submissions. There's booking your shows around that time to promote it. There's making merchandise for it. And then for the creative side of it, you've got everything from arranging the songs to be, go from just like me and an acoustic guitar into a band scenario. Kind of having a basic idea going in of like what's going to happen with the instruments, practicing that ahead of time, getting your engineer, your producer, getting the right guy for those roles. I wanted something with like kind of an intimate drum sound. So I had to plan specifically for that, and that was the engineer and the producer who said, okay, we want to put these drums inside of like a room by itself. It's like a piano room, and everything else was like kind of live in the main room, but the drums were in there. So stuff like that, for example, just one small example of the many that we think about in that process. And then there's the playing, that actually performing in the studio and getting the right takes, all a part of the production process. And then, there's the mixing that happens after. I'm an engineer, so I actually mix my own music,
Okay.
and I am now like at the stage of finishing the mix of those 9 songs at the moment. Soon after I'm done with that, I'll have it sent to a mastering engineer that gets it ready for play in different mediums, and the last, frosting on the cake stuff, and then there's dealing with your digital distribution and your, albums and all that. So that's that basically sums it up. Like that's, not much, right? Just
Right.
a few things here
It's
and
a few steps involved. Well, I do want to ask specifically on the performance side. So as you kind of talked about some of those pieces, one, how do you set up a set list for, to include, all of your sad songs for a live show?
That's a cool process, because you're thinking about kind of the ups and downs of the show, and you're thinking about aspects of what the audience is feeling throughout the show and what they're seeing, and obviously what they're hearing. You don't want to have like 5 really slow, really sad songs back to back. For the most part, some people like that stuff, but including myself. But I like to have it where we kind of start out a little bit up with the energy, and maybe kind of like keep building up a bit, and then maybe I kind of like start to take it down into the slower stuff, into the sadder stuff, and to not lose everybody in that, with a live show specifically as opposed to a record, like, you don't want somebody to be like, okay, now I need to go get a beer, or now I need to go eat shit or whatever. Like you want to like put something in there that's soon enough to where, okay, now we got to get back up, and to just tell a story overall, just to tell a story with a live show, the live experience.
What about adding covers? Do you throw any of those? Or how do you know when to throw in a cover to maybe bring a crowd back that's not familiar with you?
Yeah, I like to throw in covers. I like to throw in like a few covers that I like, and usually they're kind of like, they're just really good songs. So just, when I just really like a song, I'll cover it. And I come from that honky tonk background where I've played cover gigs a lot, and I know a bunch of Hank Williams and Merle and George and all that stuff. So, there's for example, like if I that maybe a crowd's kind of losing me, um, I'll throw out "You Never Call Me by My Name," for example.
Right.
And it's like you can't like just sit still and not sing along when you hear that song, for example. So
No
I
doubt.
always keep some up to sleep, and everybody that I play with is like ready for changes to happen, because I like to change stuff on the fly sometimes, and I might be like, all right, let's like bust this song out, and they just go with it.
So they're used to it.
I don't know if this is correct or not, because my screen's a little fuzzy, but did it start raining when I started asking about sad songs?
No, I don't.
No, it's
think
not
so.
raining. All right, never mind. I was like, that's wild.
It's just the tears in your eyes.
Well, no, I heard what I thought was rain. I was like, well, it's not raining here. All right. Well,
I mean, I said that Nashville's close to everywhere, but not Texas. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
one other question on the touring side of it. You talked about getting some very specific drum sounds and maybe some unique sounds in the studio. Any challenges that presents when you're with the band trying to replicate that live?
the good thing about it is that I used like the same guys that I like to work with. So it's my own band, so it's like it's a lot of the time it'll be those same guys that played on the record, so it's gonna sound like them. But occasionally, yeah, I'll have to work with different people and have like a little revolving door of like a couple of the musicians I work with, and
Sure.
for that it can be a challenge. Especially now that I have these like the rough mixes and stuff, I can show people that I'm working with like this is kind of the vibe we're going for, and they're able to like get it by actually doing that.
Solid. I think we're ready for a little rapid fire soul gravy.
Mm-hmm.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
Oliver, we're gonna take you through a few rapid fire questions, and this is all just a big setup for the final question. Folks, stick around. Maybe you'll find out what the final question is. We appreciate you being here. All right, first question, Oliver. What is your favorite chord?
Um,
I don't know why it makes me laugh
I'd
every
say
time. I don't
favorite
know why.
that's dang. You know, okay, I'm gonna go with D. D
Okay.
is my favorite
D
chord.
Solid.
So I know this is rap, but real quick, when I first pick up a guitar, usually it's like a G, but you know what a G run is? Like dun, 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 the bluegrass kind of.
Yep.
The thing about a D run, like when you play that, it's like real low, and I love like that kind of baritone, like guitar, like lick. It's like when you do a D run, it's got that like low, nasty, kind of grungy feel to it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll say.
You know what, Soul Gravy? For being such a weird question, we always get great answers. So
No, we do. It's just funny. I like I said, I don't even know why I laugh. I just do.
yeah. Well, my goal is to get Stoney LaRue on to ask him, but I don't know. We'll see if that happens.
Because it's got the one chord song.
Hey, all right.
It goes
So,
on and on.
Oliver, where do you listen to music?
As far as Apple, Spotify, what do you have one of those?
I actually listen to YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay.
All right.
I
All right.
probably
listen
have the same thing.
CD,
More
vinyl, and YouTube.
awesome. Well, we appreciate you supporting the vinyl. Our friend Soul Gravy over there supports it as well. So, some people call it a problem. I think it's not. But all right. I'm curious what you might be doing if you weren't playing music. What would you be doing with that time?
They might still have a
something
rap
I really.
too, by the way, Steve. They might still have a wrapped on the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
If you want that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm really big into like the outdoors, so I would be doing something outdoors. I'd be hunting, fishing, hiking, climbing, stuff like that.
Solid. All right. Let's see. You get dinner with one historical figure. It can be anybody, dead or alive. Doesn't have to be a musician. It can be anybody. Who are you going to have dinner with, and what are you going to eat?
I think I'd eat some bear meat with Daniel Boone.
Taking it back to our roots, folks.
Fair, yeah.
All right. Great answer. First concert that you attended, and then maybe the first concert you paid your own money to go see? Could be the same one, but just depends.
Okay, the first concert I attended was so I actually have a big concert and a small concert.
That's
I
fine.
could do both of them. The first
Sure.
small concert that I went to was a bluegrass band back home. I don't even know who they were. Some type of string band. And they played the house in New Orleans, and they told the story of the house in New Orleans of how like it was written by a like a slave, in Middlesboro, Kentucky. And I never knew that, so that really blew my mind. And hearing the backstory behind it, and then they sung it. It was great. And then the first big one that I went to was the Eagles
Okay.
in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Nice.
Uh, Joe Walsh opened up with the theme song from King of the Hill. He was just playing it backstage, and I was like, dang, that King of the Hill? That sounds awesome. And they totally killed it. But for the first one, like, pay money to see, it was actually Fish jam band.
Fish? Yeah.
Nice.
Huh?
Shout out to the
Great.
Silverado behind you that's pro parking, by the way. All right.
Good.
Bucket list venue. I'd like one in Tennessee and one outside of Tennessee.
One inside of Tennessee and one outside. Okay.
That you haven't played.
Oh, I haven't played? Okay. I'm gonna say in Tennessee. Wait, did you say favorite?
Well, just one that you would like to play that you haven't played yet.
Yeah, bucket list.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna say the Ryman for
Good call.
Tennessee. And for outside Tennessee, I'm gonna say Willie's Picnic.
Oh yeah, down in Luck, that'd be fun. Yeah, well,
I think that's the first
it
time.
gets moved around, but it was in Luck for the longest time, and now it's kind of everywhere. But
I understand.
that would be a blast.
I think that's the first time we've ever had that. The Willies. We've had the ramen. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know why everyone would want to play the ramen, but yeah, I think that's the first time on Willie's Picnic. So that's cool.
It's a great answer. If you could add your music to any soundtrack or TV show, what would you add it to? Or movie? Or
That's a good question. You know, see, the thing is, like, I actually don't really watch TV, and or even Netflix and stuff. But I'll say that if I was able to do, like one of my favorite movies, Smokey and the Bandit, and Jerry Reed does the soundtrack for that. So he's one of my favorites. So I would love to do something like that, where it's like maybe like a car movie, like where there's like running away from the law type of stuff going on. Make a soundtrack for that. I would love to do that.
You can actually go live the experience with Soul Gravy in Memphis for free. There's that.
Yeah, you can dodge the potholes on 240, right? Yeah, and the infinities for drive-out tags.
All right, well, I've got 2 more questions for you.
But by the way, I like that answer too. As far as just about normally when you ask that question, a lot of people go straight to the money side of it, right? Which it makes complete sense, you know. But it also the whole the where it fits too is kind of the point of the question,
I
not
think
necessarily the money. So,
yeah, for sure. But I mean, you know.
No, I understand.
It'd be great if it fits and could also pay the bills, you know.
Hey, you know, if it ends up on, you know, if Oliver's song ends up on Smokey and the Bandit 5, then we'll claim it. We'll say,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Very small percentage, but all right. When I say sad song, and you can't say one of yours, but if I say sad song, what comes to your mind first?
That song. George Jones, The Possum.
Any song?
Any specific song?
Like a song. Okay, like a song.
Yeah.
The Grand Tour.
Okay. Wow, it's
Okay.
a great song. All right, last question that I have for you before we get you set up for the final question. I've stopped asking this question for some reason, but it's back, folks. Tribute bands, yay or nay?
I'm not really interested in them. So yeah, I'm gonna say no on that.
That's fine. That's great. Okay. Well, great job. You made
I'm
it through
pulling up
rapid fire.
I'm sorry. I'm pulling up my screenshot of a tribute band because this has been coming on my radar more and more since you brought it up, like a year and a half ago. Apparently, tribute bands were way more prominent in the DFW area than they are in the Memphis area. But there's one coming to town that's tributing Foreigner, Journey, and Boston all together, right? And the name of it is A Foreigner's Journey to Boston.
We just want to cover all the bases.
I'm sure they're nice guys, but holy shit,
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
I think I made mention to Soul Gravy. Go ahead. Sorry.
I will say, just real quick, I will say there's one tribute band that I actually played in. I played guitar in it, and it was a tribute to Wheeler Walker Jr. We were called. If you don't know what that stands for, look up Wheeler Walker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know. That one actually would make complete sense of why you would do that, just to be a smart ass. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I know some people.
Fair enough. All right. That seems like a perfect Wheeler Walker Jr. to the last question seems like a perfect transition.
It does.
All right. So this started as a joke on episode 1, and now it is a requirement. Oliver, we need to know, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
I kind of like the little Christmas trees.
Gotcha.
All year round?
Yeah, all year round. I keep my tree up all year round, and I eat the trees all year.
Fair enough. He's a festive kind of guy. All right. Well, Oliver, we've been talking about having you on this thing for a while now. Glad we're able to finally make it happen. Y'all make sure you go follow Oliver on all of his socials. He's got the new music, solo music coming out late spring, early summer, something of that nature. So definitely go follow so you can know when that happens. Man, it was good to finally have you on.
Right quick.
Man.
Yeah, Oliver, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to have you hang back with us for a couple minutes. I think I forgot to tell you that, but you can't leave. So the rest of y'all, get out of here. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you.